Welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you've ever wanted to torch fat, build lean muscle, and honestly just get a really serious sweat going right in the middle of your living room without a single piece of equipment, well, you're in the absolute right place. Today, we're breaking down a pretty fascinating routine from the workout program known as Zero Fluffy. Specifically, we're looking at their apartment cardio burn. This source material has become incredibly popular for one major reason. It promises maximum results with absolutely zero noise. So no crashing around, and definitely no angry text messages from the neighbors downstairs. It's just pure, targeted intensity. Let's get right into it. Okay, so let's tackle this question head on, because it really is the ultimate hurdle of home fitness, isn't it? How do you torch fat in an apartment without waking the neighbors? If you live in a shared building, you absolutely know that anxiety. You want to get a good workout in, maybe early in the morning or late at night, but you're completely paralyzed by the fear of just making too much noise. The Zero Fluffy routine we're looking at today positions itself as the ultimate low-impact solution for apartment dwellers. It systematically strips out all those high-impact movements that cause the floor to shake and replaces them with exercises that are completely silent but intensely effective. 15. That is quite literally everything you need to know about the commitment required here. The entire routine demands exactly 15 minutes of your time. This source material operates on a really simple premise. You do not need an hour-long session to see results, as long as you're maximizing the efficiency of every single second. Zero equipment, and true to its name, absolutely zero fluff. In a world where our time is, our most precious commodity, this strict 15-minute parameter makes fitness incredibly accessible. It leaves absolutely zero room for that classic, "Oh, I just don't have time today" excuse. All right, here's a quick roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll cover the zero fluff philosophy. Second, the signature workout formula. Third, standing core and boxing. Fourth, the lower body tension burn. And finally, we'll wrap up with the silent floor finisher. Okay, diving right into section 1. The Zero Fluff philosophy. No long intros, just results. The whole philosophy here is just immediate action. I mean, the instructor literally jumps right in with a 10-to-1 countdown, so your brain doesn't even have a second to second guess the workout. This immediate, grounded approach completely flips traditional cardio on its head. Instead of high-impact jumping, going on for an hour, and making a ton of noise, the Zero Fluffy method keeps your feet firmly planted on the ground. It condenses all that work into a crazy intense 15 minutes, and most importantly, it's completely silent. Looking at these two approaches side by side, you can really see exactly why keeping your feet mostly grounded is a game changer for an apartment. You're basically trading high impact for sustained intensity. Moving on to section 2, the signature workout formula. Let's decode the mechanics here. So this entire routine is built on high energy, rhythmic transitions and just constant movement. And a massive piece of that rhythm is a built-in auditory cue, the word heat. In the context of Zero Fluffy, heat isn't just a casual cheer. It's a specific vocal tag used throughout the routine. When the instructor shouts this word, it's a direct command signaling you to push your intensity to the absolute limit. It actually dictates the pacing and those energy spikes of the workout. Think of it like a built-in interval timer. When that heat tag drops, whatever movement you're doing, you suddenly do it harder and faster. It's a brilliant way to kind of gamify the workout and ensure your intensity peaks exactly when it's supposed to. All right, section 3, standing core and boxing. Time for some heart rate elevation. This is the first physical block of the routine. You're up on your feet, engaging your core with these standing high knee pulls, but remember, no jumping. As you aggressively pull your arms down and drive your knee up to your chest to kick things off, the instructor drops this really specific motivational phrase. They say you are running out of home for excuses today. It's a clever little play on words, right? You're literally in your home working out, so those usual excuses, like not being able to make it to the gym or the weather being too bad for a run, they're entirely neutralized. That psychological push is vital. By reminding you that all the barriers are gone, it demands accountability and forces you to fully commit to getting that heartbeat rising right from the start. Now, the crucial part here is how you move from one exercise to the next. You go from those high knee pulls directly into a rapid 5-second transition, and then boom, immediately into lateral step shadow boxing. Literally just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you switch. The source really emphasizes punching straight ahead with immense control while stepping side to side. This keeps the heart rate totally spiked. There's no time to check your phone, no time to get distracted. The sheer brevity of that 5-second countdown is the glue holding this constant movement formula together. While you're in the middle of shadow boxing, the instructor highlights something super essential, the chemistry between your breath and your movement. Because, let's be real, this isn't just about wildly flailing your arms around. It's a highly coordinated effort. Every single punch needs to be paired with a sharp exhale. This chemistry oxygenates your blood and allows you to actually sustain the effort. And hey, remember that vocal tag we just talked about? Hearing the cue heat, heat, heat during this specific block is your immediate, non-negotiable signal to completely double the speed of your punches. You use that breathing chemistry to fuel a massive spike in cardiovascular output. Section 4. Lower body tension burn. Melting calories without jumping. Following another aggressive 5 to 1 countdown, the routine shifts gear into squat pulses. But you might be wondering, how do you make a squat as challenging as a box jump without ever leaving the floor? Well, the answer is time under tension. This is a fundamental physiological technique perfectly applied for an apartment setting. Instead of explosive, dynamic jumping, you're using slow, controlled muscle contraction over a sustained period. You drop down into a squat and you just stay there, pulsing slightly. By not allowing your muscles to lock out or rest at the top of the movement, the tension is constant. This technique effectively replaces gravity and impact. It builds lactic acid super fast, recruits deep muscle fibers, and, as the source states, it melts calories entirely in silence. Of course, spending that much time under tension is incredibly uncomfortable. Physically, you have to keep your chest up to maintain proper spinal alignment during those pulses. Mentally, though, the instructor acknowledges the pain. They urge you to push past the doubts that we collide with right in the middle of a burning set. The source actually notes that your legs might feel like you're literally losing your mind, but it counters that intense physical stress with some pretty profound emotional reassurance. The instructor promises they won't leave you behind. It's actually a very intimate, team-focused approach to what is otherwise a solo home workout. And now, Section 5, the silent floor finisher, the final core engagement. This last block takes you down to the mat following one final 5 to 1 countdown. This is where you empty absolutely whatever is left in the tank using mountain climbers. But, and this is a big but, the strict mandate here is pure, intense core engagement with zero banging on the floor. Mountain climbers are notoriously noisy if you do them sloppily. The zero fluffy mandate requires absolute silence. That means you can't just throw your legs back and forth. You have to use deep, controlled core strength to pull your knees in and place your toes back down softly. Honestly, it demands a level of physical discipline that makes the exercise so much harder. Every time the music hits that heat peak while you're on the floor, your primary goal is to push the intensity to its absolute ceiling, all while completely respecting the quiet of your apartment setting. As those 15 minutes finally come to an end, the instructor calls out 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax, get down. And that marks the closing moments of the workout. The source material beautifully refers to the effort you just expended as the fire we made to save your fitness goals today. I love that. It perfectly encapsulates that post-workout physiological release, that undeniable burning sensation of having just completed 15 minutes of pure, uninterrupted intensity without a single moment of wasted time. So, what happens next? The source material wraps up with a clear call to action for structured progress. Viewers are encouraged to subscribe to the Zero Fluffy community to keep that momentum going. Because this specific routine had a cardiovascular focus, the instructor advises showing up next time for more targeted, intense routines to build muscle while continuing to burn fat, specifically pointing users toward follow-up ab sessions or bicep sessions. It gives the user a super clear roadmap for what to target next, keeping them totally engaged in the Zero Fluffy ecosystem. We've seen exactly how this routine manipulates time under tension, breath chemistry, and rapid transitions to deliver a silent, yet devastatingly effective workout. So, looking at the science and the sheer strategy we've explored today, I want to leave you with this final thought directly inspired by the source material. Are you still running out of home for excuses? Or are you ready to embrace the zero fluff burn? The floor is yours and the clock is ticking. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and keep learning.